Hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about unit fractions and specifically what they would look like on a number line. So before we start talking about those fractions, I'd like to talk to you about what we mean when we say one whole. We know that a fraction is part of a whole, but what exactly is one whole? Think about that for one moment. What is one whole? Perhaps you think that it is all or everything, all of the parts of something, or one whole thing that is undivided in one piece called the whole. Here's a picture of some things in their whole form. This is the way a fraction might look, although there are many ways to write one whole as a fraction. Here's a circle shown in gray, meaning all of it is represented here by the gray parts. These rectangles are also broken into parts, but they're all gray, showing that the whole rectangle is represented. These are two pictures of sets, a set of circles, a set of squares that look like an array, but the whole group, set or array, is colored in black, so it's the whole amount. Here we have a number line represented with some fractions on it, but it's just the portion of the number line between 0 and 1, because 1 means we have one whole, and we'll talk about the fractions that we see there in a little bit. So let's move on and look at a fraction and talk about what you already know about fractions. I know you know a fraction has two numbers, one on top of the other, and the number on the top is called the numerator, and the number on the bottom is called the denominator. Easy to remember, because down and denominator both start with the letter D. So in this fraction, we know the denominator is 3, meaning we have 3 equal parts in our whole. So the rectangle below is divided into 1, 2, 3 equal parts. Our numerator 2 shows us that we are speaking about just 2 parts. 1, 2. Not the whole thing, but 2 out of 3 parts of the whole. 2/3 is a great fraction, but it is not a unit fraction. So let's talk about what a unit fraction is. You might have heard this word before in class, so think about what you've heard before and what you think a unit fraction might be. A unit fraction is just a fraction with a numerator of 1, so that means we're talking about just one out of many parts of a whole, or maybe even just a few parts of a whole. So let's take a look at what unit fractions look like. Wow. Okay, so here we have 4 unit fractions. Notice all of them have 1 for the numerator. That shows that we're talking about one part of the whole. In this one, they've used the letter A for an unknown number, so any number could go here where the A is. Here they're talking about one part out of a whole divided into 814 pieces. Wow, that's a lot of pieces. Here's 1/3. You've seen this before. Here we're talking about the unit fraction of 1 piece out of 3. And this fraction we would read as 1/23, meaning 1 out of 23 equal pieces. So now let's take a look at this picture of one whole shown as a rectangle or a circle, and how I've made it into some unit fractions. Here I've shown the rectangle divided into 3 equal pieces and 4 equal pieces. We have 1 out of 3 showing 1/3, or 1 out of 4 equal pieces showing 1/4. And here's what it looks like in a circle. 1 out of 3 pieces, 1 out of 4 equal pieces. These are both unit fractions. So now we need to move on to drawing unit fractions on a number line. Here I have 2 number lines with a unit fraction written next to each one. On the top number line, we're going to try to locate 1/3 on a number line. So we know our denominator is 3, and that's telling us we need 3 equal pieces. The whole is represented by this space on the number line between 0 and 1. So I need to make that into 3 equal pieces. I'm going to do that by drawing 2 lines. Let's count the equal pieces I've made in the whole. 1, 2, 3. So we want just 1 out of those 3 pieces, so right here is where 1/3 would be located on the number line. Let's try again with this fraction, 1/6. The denominator is telling me I need 6 equal pieces to my number line. So I'm going to need to draw 5 lines, and I'm going to hope to get 6 equal pieces. So let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check it out and see if we have 6 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that we want 1 out of those 6 pieces, and this is where we would locate 1/6 on our number line. Now that we've looked at unit fractions and I've showed you how to write them on the number line, let's take a look at these fractions and see if you can find some of them that are unit fractions. I'll give you a moment to think, and then we'll check your answer. So here they are. I hope you found 1/4, 1/2, 1/6, and 1/3. All of these are unit fractions. Thank you for listening to my video, and I hope we can get together again sometime soon.